Are we? We live, right? We live. What's good, my pack? How's everybody doing out there? M.V.K, your alpha is here. The pack, give me a howl so I can hear you. I'll hear you. Keep calm. I am a doctor. I'm the doctor. No. All right, Anyway, guys, how's everybody doing out there? We are here. It is the first open mic, the 76th open mic session, first of the month of February. 1st of February. Don't mind me snacking, please. But I am here again, y'all, to answer thy questions, as always. Got me a little kettle corn popcorn. I like my kettle corn. There's kettle corn, for that means it is built in a kettle. And I said that with food in my mouth. My mother gonna come down and slap my ass. Anyway, guys, how's everybody doing? I said that twice, but I'm just in a good mood. Very good mood indeed. Let's fix that. Let's fix it a little bit. There you go. There we go. Yeah, that's better. Anyway, guys, like I said, I am here to answer your questions, and this should be some fun, baby. So I'll wait for a while to let people come into the room and chat with me for a while. We're gonna try to get a 2-hour, a 2-hour live session out of here, like I usually do. I try not to go over 2 hours, I try not to get to 3. I don't need 3. That's unless I was doing something. How's the weather in everybody's neighborhoods? We just, here in New York, we just went through a pretty big snowstorm. Pretty much most of the snow is been washed away by the rain. It's been raining. Tomorrow is said to be an ice storm coming. I don't know. But I know people who are further up north, like, Boston and everything in that area, yeah, they got hit hard. And of course, Chicago got hit hard. As always, I'm never envious of anybody who's in Chi-Town or in the Midwest in general. It's just something I applaud them, and I do have friends out there in Illinois and Wisconsin and places like that. It's funny because I don't consider Chicago West. I don't consider Illinois the West, but I don't know. They say it is. To me, it's like once you cross the Mississippi, then you're in the West. That's just my view. Anyway, guys, like I said, I'm here. Got my little thing of popcorn. Got me some tea to wet my whistle. Don't be alarmed. Yes, I am. I am the doctor, but I'm also your alpha. So it's been crazy as of late, and I'm looking forward to hearing what my fellow geeks are thinking about some of the news that's been coming out of the realm of geekism. As I always say, geekism is what? Hell of a drug. It is a hell of a drug. Hell of a drug. And just want to make sure. Yeah, y'all can hear me, right? Just make sure. Let's see. Okay. I want to make sure everybody can hear me. So please give me a thumbs up if y'all can hear me. I want to make sure. I put the chat room in slow-mo, 10-second slow-mo. Reason why? I want to make sure I get everybody's questions. I don't want to miss anything. I hate when I miss things and then people come and say, hey, you didn't answer my question, or oh, you missed a question. I hate that. So outside of that, guys, all right, we got thumbs up. All right, people said they can hear me. All right, so outside of that, guys, your boy has been I want to give a shout out to some new Patreons. The Mandalorian. Lee, thank you. I appreciate it, Lee, very much. You became a new Patreon. You went for the alpha level tier. I respect that. The alpha level tier, guys, is on my Patreon. The link in the description down below, if you like, is basically where you get to choose 10 videos. You get to do 10 videos. And basically what that means is you get to request 10 videos from me and I will do them. And also you get to help with the Super Geek sweepstakes, which is a giveaway that I'm going to start soon, where I ramp up a box for you guys, and it'll be a raffle. And I'll explain the rules a little bit more when it gets time to do it. It's just going to be me in my way of just giving back to you guys and just saying thank you for subscribing. Thank you for coming through on my videos and everything like that. It's just me being a giver, as I am a giver. Go ask Blue Goblin. Go ask Mr. Multiverse. They'll tell you. They'll let you know. Anyway, guys, yeah. So I want to thank Lee for that. I gained a new Patreon member. There are going to be some Patreon exclusive vids, and there's going to be vids that are going to be both going on the Patreon and here on YouTube as well. I want to also thank another person. Thank Mr. Jensen Reed for purchasing from my store. I appreciate that very much. And also to Melissa Magnolino. I hope I'm saying your name right. For purchasing from my store. Thank you. I appreciate it. She picked up the Geekism is a hell of a drug hoodie. I appreciate that. And I know I have to start wearing my merch to promote it better, and I promise you I will. So yeah, I've been getting a lot of. I've been being humbled very much more and more. Something special is coming up soon in the month of March. I think you all should know what that is. It's my birthday. My birthday is coming up. Not just any birthday. My 40th birthday. I thank the great spirits. I thank God. I thank everybody who has looked upon me for hopefully being able to reach that number. But I want it to be special. And there's something I need to ask somebody very special. Just that's between me and her. Okay. So yeah, but outside of that, guys, I'm here to answer your questions. Let's see what we got here. Let's ramp it up. All right. So the first question comes from Black Jester. That is a dope ass name. I like that. That sounds like a super villain name or kind of a superhero name. It don't matter. Thoughts on Dakota Johnson, Madam Web movie? Oh my God. Yeah. I had a big craze fest with that this afternoon when that news broke. So I went on Twitter, and I went on, Facebook, and people, sites that I follow on Facebook, and I started posting my comments, basically saying, look, basically came out and said, look, this is proven once again Sony just throwing shit at the wall just to see what sticks. You know, throwing shit at the wall just to see, because of the fact that they still have the Spider-Man movie rights and his universe and all the characters in there. They just want to throw shit at the wall and see what sticks. And to me, I look at this and I'm like, why? Why Madam Web? What? Nothing against Dakota Johnson, but why Madam Web? I mean, seriously, she's more of an upper echelon supporting character at best. What kind of story are you going to tell with that? What kind of it's stupid. And to me, it's like Dakota Johnson is either going to be Julia Carpenter, and they're already going to skip her being Spider-Woman and go right to being Madam Web, the new Madam Web. You can have that. You know, it's the same thing like I said about, you know, the Black Cat and Silver Sable movie. Like, or when they announced they're going to do a Jackpot movie. Jackpot? Of all characters, Jackpot, a very lesser, forgettable supporting character in Spider-Man. Jackpot came around when the time, and we all thought it was Mary Jane as a superhero, but it wasn't. It was a woman who, and this and that. It was, her story was at best a C+ story at best, and she went away. And where's she now? Where's she now? And of course, they want to do Craven, and to me, Craven, I'm like anything like Venom, like Morbius, I look at it, I'm like, what are they without the webhead? Just saying. So I went on and I'm talking to them, right? And I'm just like, and then you got people coming here and they're doing the same old crap that I hear all the time when I have problems that go on in professional wrestling. Then don't watch it. Oh, nobody's forcing you to watch it. Shut up. Shut up with that. Shut up. If you don't want to watch it, then don't watch it. Nobody's making you watch. You're right. Nobody is making me watch it. And I had it with, I'm going at it with these guys. Not really going at it with them, but I'm just like, you're right. I'm not. I'm just giving an opinion like you were doing. Shut up. Go fuck yourself with that bullshit. And then you're going to have another guy come and say to me, well, more Spider-Man related movies for me. So I said to him, you know what? You should have kept your ass out of the conversation. Really. I didn't say that to him, but I was just like, that's what I'm saying in my mind. So I said, you know what? So I put the gift, good for you. What do you want, a cookie? You want a pat on the back? Fuck off, man. Who cares? Okay. It's like, and that's the problem. That is the problem with social media. You give your opinion on something, people want to crucify you because you don't agree with them. Go fuck yourselves with that. Period. Got nothing against Dakota Johnson, but this is stupid and it's lazy and it's dumb. And I'm glad I'm talking about it now because that saves me if I have to do a video right now. Because if I did a video right now, if I did a thought video, you know what? Hurricane to come out. And I don't really want Hurricane coming out, dropping F-bombs like right and left. So I'm glad. But I got nothing against Dakota Johnson. But to me, once again, this is just Sony being Sony, throwing shit at the wall, just seeing, ooh, what sticks? What sticks? Ooh, let's do a movie about that. How about, if you want to do a movie, how about do movies on Spider-Man related characters that actually mean something? For example, our Ariana Corazon, who is Spider-Girl, or at one point when she first came in, Arena. That's a movie I would go see. You know why? Because that has story. Go back and watch that, read that story from when she first debuted in Amazing Fantasies, the relaunch, up until now. Go read that. You want to do another? How about where's this Spider-Woman movie that Olivia Wilde is supposed to be directing? Huh? Where's that at? How about I don't know, Mayday Parker? That'd be great. Yeah. How about that? How about characters in the Spider-Man universe that mean something? You want to give a movie to Jackpot? Give me a break. Go on with that. But Black Jester, thank you for the question. I appreciate it, brother. Cyborg, what's good, Chris? What's up? Good day. What is good, everybody? Somebody said it's raining in Georgia. I'm doing good. Warherd, or everybody can hear me. That's good. Doesn't matter how we get. Maybe geek and it keeps coming. Yeah, young. Yeah, pretty much. War Wolfen. This is about the Facebook post. Yeah, that Facebook post is ridiculous, man. I'm get out of here. Hey, Chris Caroline, what's good? It's been snowing where I am. Okay. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything. All right. No questions right now. Let's see. Keep it going. Keep it going. Keep it going. Close the case. Close the case. Close the case. Give me a cup of tea. Spot of tea. That's good stuff. I love my tea. Sure. I'm also doing something for my job. So if you see me typing something, I'm texting my supervisor. So be just to be alarmed, guys, on that. All right. Thank you. So, like I said, guys, if you see me typing, I'm typing something with my job, my supervisor. It's important that I do it. He doesn't know I'm streaming, but I ain't telling him. So, but I can type it with them anyway. Let's move on. What is going on? Okay. This is why I don't use Facebook anymore. Too much toxic. I stay on Facebook because of old friends, good friends, new friends, friends that respect my opinion. They're not going to question it too much. They know, okay, that's just his opinion. He's not trashing anybody else's opinion. Stuff like that. And also keeping in touch also with just family I haven't seen since I was like a little baby. And, things like that. Sometimes it's hard to even get in contact with some family. So, it's the only way I can, never mind. I'll talk about that later. Okay. Next up. Tony was good. What's good? Pre-order WWE 2K22. I hope I did not make a mistake. I got the NWO for Life edition. I want to do a create a wrestler show like SAW. Oh, okay. I kind of have high hopes for this new one. Seeing the seeing some of the movements, and I'm like, okay, this looks like all right. This looks pretty good. I'm gonna check this out. I haven't bought a new wrestling game since I think 2K19 or something. I didn't buy 20. How's the family? Family's good. Dropping popcorn everywhere. Family's good. Family's good. Let's see. Ego Shadow. Thoughts on the sequel to Scream? Yeah, they're gonna do a Scream 6, a 6 Scream. I kind of felt like they were. My only problem is I haven't seen the last one. The only thing that a friend told me, was that she said she had to spoil. She's like, Chris, don't worry, Sydney don't die. I was like, I'm like, okay. But she says, but someone does die. I'm like, yeah, I know that. No, she's like, somebody dies. And I'm like, oh, okay. Hmm. Is it okay to talk about No Way Home? Yeah, I mean, pretty much. We could talk about it. Andre, hello, Chris. How you doing? I am well. Um, I am well. I got me a spot of tea. I'm the doctor. I'm good. And what kind of tea is it? You want to know what it is? Okay. It's pomegranate honey tea. There you go. I love me pomegranates. I use Facebook. Okay, yeah, contact family and friends. I don't need that damn. Yeah, I use Facebook largely for the same reason you do. Yeah, I'm just saying, man. Like I mean, like I said, there's people I keep in contact with on Facebook, but um, even when you are like following like those like news sites and things like that, like like comicbook.com and stuff like that, when they break these news, I'm like, okay, it's not like people don't agree with some of this. I got like several likes for it, but I'm just like, look, dude, I'm just giving my opinion on it, just like what you did. But don't come at me for addressing my opinion. I think it's stupid that Sony wants to do movies of very supporting a lot of supporting characters of the Spider-Man universe, because they still own the movie rights. They don't own the other rights to Spider-Man. That's all back at Marvel. They only own the movie right. And I basically told this other person, I'm like, let's look at the last three Spider-Man movies. It wasn't all Sony. Who was behind a lot of that? You know what? Marvel, Kevin Feige and them. They say it all the time. Why does everybody get on Sony about it? Marvel does the same thing. And then I actually had this conversation too with somebody I'm pretty cool with. I'm like, here's the reason. Look at Sony's track record. Look at their track record. Number two, other than that, yeah, nobody asked for a Shang-Chi movie. Nobody asked for, as the person put it, I'll keep his name out of it. Nobody asked for a Shang-Chi movie. Nobody asked for a Guardians of the Galaxy movie, all that stuff. Yeah, you're right. But you know why? You know why they worked? You know why they worked? Because they were planned. Kevin Feige had a blueprint, executed that blueprint, and they worked. Yes, Guardians of the Galaxy, not a lot of people outside of comic readers like myself knew who they were. It was a gamble, and that gamble paid off. Nobody, don't ever say nobody was asking for a Shang-Chi movie, because I was asking for that a long time ago, and we got it. The Eternals, yeah, not so much. They're the least recognizable Kirby creations in comics, but they did it. Was it over the top good? But they executed to the best of their ability because it was part of the plan. Basically saying nobody asked for a Hawkeye. Yes, people were asking for a Hawkeye. They were asking at times for all the Avengers. I've heard many people saying, I hope all the Avengers get a solo movie or something like that. To most degree, they all did. And they worked. Don't ever say that. You know why? Because they were planned. That's the difference. That's the key difference between the MCU and what Sony is doing with their stuff. Do I care for the Venom stuff? Hell no. Hell no. Didn't even like the first one. I sat down and watched it, and I was bored. The only part I actually did like was the part where Venom basically ate that guy, and that was about it. But other than that, I didn't like Tom Hardy as Eddie Brock. I was like, he looks like a hobo. It's just it just didn't feel right. And that last one, I didn't even go bother to see that. People would ask me, "Are you going to see that?" Nope, I don't. That's the same way how I felt about Fox when they had, before they were bought out, about the X-Men. I was like, yeah, their time is over with that. And you can see the cracks, because at the same time, the problem with these studios owning a property is simple. More and more, you're going to see the studio put more of their direction in it, instead of following somewhat an adaptation of the source. Boom. Have you heard about the new animated movie Catwoman Hunted? I have. I've never been the biggest Catwoman fan, so I won't be watching it. Sorry. Caroline, there isn't always toxic or so bad. Depends. It depends. Cyborg. If the Skrulls were in the DC universe, do you think they would try to invade planets such as Krypton, Mars, Tamarin, and Ron? Well, the Skrulls have a huge empire, so you better believe they would. I don't think they would go to Krypton, because Krypton was destroyed. Mars and Tamara, yeah, they would. Absolutely. So, what do you think about the new limited series Dark Knight of Steel? Haven't read it. I see it, and I'm like, I might check it out when it comes out on trade or so. Are you planning to watch Amazon's LO, the Lord of the Rings series? That's what that is? I'll probably give it a try. I don't know what I was just saying. I've seen too much of it. Yeah. I prefer Instagram. Instagram can get a little toxic too. Yeah. But I do see more people, especially when it comes to the hobbies I love. They're a lot more understanding and like, okay, that's your opinion, and we can have a really sociable conversation. I do understand that more. Instagram does do, but there's still toxic as well on Instagram. Let me see. Cyborg asked me if Starfire was in the MCU. Do you think she would join the Guardians of the Galaxy? Well, it depends, because if she's on Earth, I could see her being a part of just the Avengers, some shape or form. I can see her being a part of. I can see her being a part of the Young Avengers if that's the case. But yeah, I could see her a part of Guardians as well. And I love me some Corey, so. Movies news aside, what's your opinion on Madam Web as a character? As a character, like I said, she's a supporting character that does her job, which is connect to all the spiders. That's it. That's it. And if we're talking about the original, yeah. But Julia Carpenter is a lot more better than the original as Madam Web. That's another Spider Woman. Do you think Nightwing or Robin or Nightwing will be in the Batgirl movie? No. If they want to, if they want Batgirl to stand on her own to some degree, do not put them in it. Maybe a after credit, but don't put them in it. You have to have her stand on her own 2 feet. You have Batman in it, it's just like, oh, it takes away from who she's supposed to be. Don't do that. Super Skrull versus Supergirl. Who wins? Supergirl. You said in one of your videos you like to cook and throw down. What is one of your favorite things you like to cook? Shrimp. My honey glazed shrimp. My honey glazed shrimp. I also do casseroles. I also do lasagna. I love cooking lasagna. I go deep in that stuff, like with different cheeses and layers of cheese. I bake cakes. I like to bake too. And also find recipes online. Like I see, that's one thing on Instagram I like doing too, is looking at people's recipes, and so that helps. But yeah, I love baking like fish. Like I'm a fish lover. I eat fish a lot. I definitely eat more fish than so seafood is a big thing with me. Like salmon, I love salmon. I love that. So I glaze that up. I glaze it up with honey and a little bit of teriyaki sauce and things like that. I blaze that up and put a little glaze that. I'm talking not like the fillets. I'm also talking like the salmon steaks, like pop and pop that in there. And I heat that up. I fry it a little bit with a little bit of olive oil. Boom, put it in the oven, bake that for a while. And on my side, I have a little jasmine brown rice, because I don't eat white rice. I only eat brown rice. Jazz that up, boom. I also love to make like my own tacos and burritos, and I like to cook. I do love to cook, man. Guitar, I love to cook. I'm dead serious about that. Let's see. Next up. So what do you think about the new Donny Cates runs? Donny Cates is cool. I met the man. I met him twice actually, but I met him first time was in 3 years ago in Orlando, MegaCon, which I will be going again to this year. So me and Mr. Multiverse will be hooking up again. Double trouble, getting into trouble. No, we won't be getting into trouble. But no, going back to MegaCon this year. I made a promise to him. Like I'll try to go there every other year. Come back down every other year to Florida. So yeah, if anybody y'all hearing it here, yes, if y'all see me, if y'all going to MegaCon, if y'all in the Orlando area, Florida area, y'all better. And I see you in a nice cosplay. You best believe I'm gonna be doing my routine cosplay vlogging and talking to you vloggers and everything like I did last time. And this time I'm gonna make sure I'm not moving any files because somehow I did it last time and all some of my files from my camera got corrupted, and I felt so bad because people who wanted to see their interview, they're like, wait, where's my interview? I'm like, what? And I was so mad about that so I'm gonna do that again. But yeah, Donny Cates I'm liking everything Donny Cates is writing. His Hulk, his Thor is just going crazy with that, especially with Mjolnir almost becoming sentient, and I'm like, what the hell? Like this is getting good. Donny Cates is one of Marvel's crown jewels, in my opinion. Everything he does, I'm down. I'm like, all right. Matthew Ma'am, my first Patreon. What is good? Do you like Meet the Parents, Meet the Fockers, and Little Fockers? I've watched those movies. They're all right. It wasn't like they made me overly laugh, but they're all right. Um, do you think Apocalypse from Marvel would try to make Superman one of his horsemen? Oh, hell yeah! And that's Apocalypse's biggest problem. He always tries to corrupt the good, and every time he does, they turn on him. You don't learn. You don't learn. Matthew Ma'am, would you rather have Wolverine's claws or Daredevil's billy clubs? It's kind of like Solid Monster, buy or sell. Wolverine's claws. A billy club. I have a billy club. It's in my closet, so I can't. I don't love to have that. But the only problem is I would have to have his healing factor because people forget. Like he's breaking his skin every time he clinks them claws out. Like that's the problem. If they bring back Batman the Animated Series, is that what that is? They should have done a Nightwing spin-off. Absolutely. I would have loved guys, y'all know me. I'm a big Dick Grayson fan. I love Dick Grayson. One of my favorite characters in comics. And to see what DC did with him last couple of years, that whole getting shot in the head and him coming Rick Grayson and all that nonsense, I was hating that. I stopped reading Nightwing. I was like, nope. Until they get him back. Tom Taylor brought him back to what he needs to be. Now the cartoon, yeah, he kind of became kind of a dick, and I was like, no pun intended, but I was like, yeah, come on with that. And even when they showed the reason of why he stopped being Robin, I was a little let down about that. That was like, come on. But a Nightwing spinoff in that animated universe where he's protecting Bloodhaven. Speaking of which, you remember in Justice League when Canary and Huntress was getting into Bloodhaven, you could see Nightwing watching them come into Bloodhaven. I'm like, they never did anything with it. I like shrimp and lobster. I love lobster. Anytime I go Caroline to anytime somebody invites me or they take me to seafood places, I get lobsters, or like red lobsters or something like that. Yeah, I get it. I get lobster. I'll order coconut shrimp, which I love, or I get the rocktail lobster because that's where all that meat is. Boom, just pop that in some butter and all right. Let's see. What else do we got? Oh, stop. I love lasagna. I'm a sucker for lasagna is great, especially if you're making it right. That's some good tea. I like that. I think I should have put more honey in that though. That's okay. Yeah. Let Barbara stand on her own. I always like Babs. Yeah, Babs. Always love Babs too. I love her. And she needs to stand on her own for now, first and foremost. I mean, yeah, you can maybe understand where she got the look from, but yeah, still have her stand on her own. Matthew Mann. Between diving, riding, flying, gliding, floating, levitation, sailing, and rowing, what is the finest way to travel to you? Teleportation. But out of these, I like flying. I do like flying. The only problem is I just don't like when my ears pop. I hate that. Like that's why I get earplugs for when I fly, pop to my ear so they keep me from my ears popping. I hate that. I don't like that. I really don't like that. I hate when my ears pop. Um, never. I don't. And I like taking train rides. I do like taking that as well. So, not even a fan of uh shrimp or prawns. Yeah, I know everybody call as we call it. But I'm down for trying anything your recipes, Chris. Yeah, I mean, I learned from just the one thing my father always said. One thing I've always been, and I think I've told this before. The one thing I've always regretted was not getting the recipes from my mom. I used to watch my mom cook all the time, like, and when she passed, I was kind of like, I wish I could have learned that from her. So I had to learn how to cook from on my own. I didn't ask nobody to help me. I just learned how to cook because I was like, I don't want to be just takeout, and I want to learn how to cook. So I just went in the kitchen one day and I just started doing stuff. I think I started with eggs and different types of eggs and learned how to do scrambled and sunny side up and fried and add omelets and cheese eggs, which I do love. Like I love eggs, scrambled eggs with cheese, like cheddar cheese and stuff. Pop that on there. You know, so I had to learn how to do that. I learned how to fry bacon and not be scared that if it pops. Oh, like no, it pops. My dad, he hates that stuff. He gets scared. He's, and learned how to. And then I start elevating to just watching like the Food Network and learning how to. Oh, okay, so that's how you do it. Learn how to cook pancakes. So I was like, okay, whether it's from the boxes or just from scratch, I learned how to do all that stuff. It was just me. And I'm missing questions, so apologize. Uh, yeah. Okay. What would a crossover with Jabba Jaw and Scooby Doo be like? Well, they kind of done that in the Wacky Racers. They kind of done it already. Wacky Racers was the biggest crossover. That was like you had all the Hanna-Barbera cartoons crossing over. And if I'm not mistaken, they did it. I think they did it in the Scooby Doo movies where, Scooby and the gang would have a guest star. I remember Scooby Doo and them crossing over with Josie and the Pussycats and things like that. Those are good times. Um, do you think Scooby Doo was hard to tolerate? Scrappy Doo? Oh, Scrappy Doo. It's funny. I learned that a lot of people hated that character. I don't hate him. I actually like Scrappy Doo, and I think that was the reason for why. I think that's somewhat the reason why what they did with him in the movies, and Scrappy, they couldn't tolerate him. But at the end of the day, hey Scooby, that's your nephew. Like you just let them throw your nephew out. I didn't like that. I was like, really, Scooby? You're not even gonna say something like, "That's my nephew," like like that's your sister's child, pup. I don't. I love Scrappy Doo. That ta da 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 puppy power, and let me at him. Like it's like he's the total opposite of his uncle. But he looks up to his uncle so much. It's so funny to me. I love that. Like Scooby's a kind of a chicken when times, but Scrappy's like, yeah, come on, let me at him. I love that. I love that. That's just fun to me. Scrappy. I don't know why people don't like him. It's just weird sometimes. Your next question: how would Wonder Woman be in the Marvel universe? She no different. If they had the Amazons, the Mascarians, in the Marvel universe, she'd be the same way she is in DC. It would be no different. You would see her on the Avengers big time, and I can see her and Cap having a beautiful friendship. I can see her having a good friendship. I can see her having a beautiful friendship with like Carol, Jennifer Walters, Thor. To it, even and I could see her really trying to help Banner, like when like Hulk, when he was like really on a rampage, she would be probably the first on scene to try to stop him, but not kill him, but to stop him because she knows. Because at the end of the day, Wonder Woman is a warrior and a princess and all that royalty, but she also is an emissary of love. Like they don't put that out there. They need to put that out there more. That she's not kill first. She's all about trying to detain and stop something before it escalates. That's why I was really happy what they did in the movies when they started bringing up that. Now my love is gonna. I'm like, that's Diana. That's what she is. They focus too much on she's an Amazon. Like, yeah, that's cool, but she's more than just that. And we see that over the years. There's certain writers that know how to balance that really well. Greg Rucka is a good example of that. He balanced Diana perfectly. So moving on. I love decoration too. Okay. What planet, moon, sun, stars, galaxies, and universe do you think is out there besides the one we are near? Well, I mean, all the planets are here, but if you're talking about another galaxy, I'm sure there is. We just need to get the technology to fly out of the Milky Way. In a sense, that's just my way of looking at it. I mean, like when I look at video games like Mass Effect, and you see the different galaxies, and I'm just like, I believe that stuff is like that too. I'm not saying that they're real Krogans and Solarians and all that stuff, but I'm just saying there's stuff like that. I like fish and chips. Fish and chips. That's fries for nobody who doesn't know. It's big in UK. In the UK, fish and chips, Yorkshire pudding, and all that stuff, and spot a dick. It's a real thing. Those episodes of Huntress and those were funny. Should Jessica Jones have another series? We talking TV series? At the moment, no. Personally, to me, out of all of the Netflix characters that should have another series is Daredevil right now. Jessica Jones would be perfect to make her debut back in the MCU through She-Hulk. She could be She-Hulk's private investigator. And this goes back to what I talked about before. And see, this is going to kind of date me how old I am, but I'm about to say y'all kids. Most of y'all probably don't know Matlock. If you do, it was a show. It was a show. If you got Pluto TV, there's a whole channel to it. I love Pluto TV. Good stuff. Free. Go on there. There's a whole channel towards Ben Matlock. Andy Griffith was Ben Matlock, and he was a great defense lawyer. He was a defense lawyer based in Atlanta, and he had a slew of private investigators that helped him solve cases, get information. That's how I could see Jennifer Walters being used as Jennifer, as I can see Jennifer Walters using Jessica Jones as her employee. Yeah, because Christian Ritter says she wants to come back as that character. I'm like anybody else. Most of the characters to me can come back. The only one I don't care to come back is Finn Jones. The Y'all get somebody new for Iron Fist. Uh, not a fan of seafood. Okay. Calamari. I like riding trains too. F trains. Deathstroke versus Luke Cage. Who'd win? Um, skill wise, Deathstroke is pretty much on a genius level. The problem is he'd have to find ways of trying to hurt Luke because his swords will probably break on Luke. He ain't gonna shoot Luke. Luke is gonna. Luke gets a hold of him. Yeah, he's in trouble. He's gonna have to try to outthink Luke and learn from the best, like Captain America. What are the best kinds of sagas that Jennifer Garner has starred in? What? I don't understand the question. What kind of sagas? I don't understand that. Favorite character played or voiced by Kelly who? Uh oh boy. I love Kelly Who. I love me some Kelly Who. So uh she is damn, that woman is fine. Um and I love the fact now she doesn't she shows like her gray hair is coming in and still look great. My favorite character she done or played, voiced. I loved her as the sorceress in Scorpion King. She was great in that. I loved her in that. She was. Whew. I loved her. It's just so many characters that she's voiced, but um, I think one of them, I gotta give it to Devora. Like I keep forget, y'all forget that's Kelly Hu playing this one is I'm like, I don't like Devora because she killed Scorpion, my favorite Mortal Kombat character. I don't know how and why they did that, but yeah, her she does that. I'm like, where did she get that from? The hide makes you. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Um, I can make pancakes too. Okay. Nathan, hey Chris, what's up? Heard Gotham Knights is getting a pilot. If I'm correct on the CW, they thought, yeah, I mean they're talking about doing a Gotham Knights show on CW. I, it shouldn't be on the CW. It should be on HBO Max. CW is just they think it's just man. I really don't have much to say about it because I'm just like, if DC and Marvel still did crossover with a Red Hood and Winter Soldier crossover would be good, I'd take it. Red Hood and Punisher would be better, but yeah, I'd take it. I miss those crossovers. I miss those a lot. Yeah, I miss those a lot. Every time I go through my comic collection and I find them, I'm like, man, I wish they did more of those. It bothers me. My supervisor asked me another question. One moment, guys. Yes, there you go. All right. Gotta love pancakes now. Yeah, pancakes are great. What possible kinds of films would you what possible kinds of films would you want to view? Uh, if I'm understanding the question right, I mean, I love action. I love suspense, so I do love that stuff. Um, like a drama. I like musicals to a degree, especially the classic ones. Like I said, my mother got me into classics. I will watch the fuck out of Seven Brides for Seven Brothers. I can watch that all day. That's my one of my favorite musicals. Love a classic movie like It's a Wonderful Life, and I watch those every Christmas. I watch that movie, Miracle on 34th Street. Watch that every year. Christmas Story, which I watch every year, and the funniest thing is there's a new Christmas Story sequel being made with the original actor who played Ralphie now coming back, and he's got kids, and it's crazy. Um, Cyborg, whose ego's the biggest, Lex or Doctor Doom? Um, that's a good question. I'm gonna go with Lex. He tends to Doom's ego is more legit because he kind of can back that up. Like, yeah, his ego, he does have his ego, but Luthor's egos have no bound. Like, he thinks he's top shit and nobody's better than him, and I'm just like, yeah, shut up. What are your thoughts on Angelina Jolie's kind of collection of viewings you prefer? Um, you mean like movie wise? I I won't say I don't like Angelina Jolie. I do. I do sometimes call her a demon, like or just like the succubus because she did steal another woman's white husband, and I don't just blame it on her, but I also blame it on Brad Pitt too. They did that. I'm not into that stuff, but you know um there's some movies I like where I think her earlier work was what I liked more than what she does now. You know, I liked when she was in Girl Interrupted with Winona Ryder and Whoopi Goldberg and all those, and she was kind of crazy and talking about I'll slam this into my aorta. I liked her in Gone in 60 Seconds. Like that. I like I said, stuff like that. I liked her in her earlier stuff. I liked her in Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Yeah, that was fun. But I didn't care too much for her as Malevolence. I applaud her for her work as doing that, but it is what it is. Uh, she was okay in Beowulf, even though that was, she just voiced the character Grendel. But yeah. Mm. What Australian food chain do you wish America had? I'm not too familiar with a lot of Australian outside of Bluestone, which we do have, which is an Australian coffee shop, bistro, or whatever. I don't not familiar too much with all the food chains down there. I'd like to. I would love to. I gotta research more into those guitars. And what is the biggest kind of tents you have been outside of a circus one? It's just circus one. That's it. Have you ever watched Babylon 5? Yeah, but I didn't watch it all the way through. And I am a big sci-fi fan, but I don't know. I just didn't watch that all the way through. What would Vandal Savage be like in the Marvel universe? Similar to, I guess you could say similar to all the big bads in the universe, but yeah, he be having some issues with a lot of them, like real talk. him and, for example, him and Doctor Doom would not get along, and Doom would be finding ways to kill him big time. And in my opinion, even though Vandal Savage is immortal, Doom would probably find a way to use a spell, because he knows magic and sorcery too, a way to eliminate his immortality and kill him. I can see Doom doing that. Were you ever a fan? I was a fan of Firefly and Serenity. Yes, I was, because they reminded me of Outlaw Star. Watch Matlock in the 2000, or recommendation from family members. Matlock was great. I love that show. I'm a child of the 80s, so I grew up with that show. Ever watched Farscape? Yes, I have. Any new viewership of Star Trek and Star Trek, Stargate, and Doctor Who? I am a Whovian, dude. I am a Whovian. I'm just behind on Doctor Who, but I am a Whovian. My favorite Doctor is the 10th Doctor, David Tennant. That's my favorite. Any good stocks to buy, Chris? Wrong person to be asking that to, dude. I can tell you that right now. What Back to the Future film is the finest to you? First one. No. Yeah, first one. It's kind of tied. It's tied between the first and the second one. Yeah, definitely. Tied between the first one and the second one. What the hell? What the hell is this? Oh, sorry. I gotta fix something. Oh, Jesus. Yeah. Um. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Mm. Okay. Let's see. If you had your own nightclub, what style of decor would it be? Would go far, and what music would you be? It would be a. It'd be a night lounge, pretty much, with a lot of blues and R&B and uh, a lot of also probably not and a lot of instrumental music as well. Probably would be like a night theme club where people can relax and chill, and like you see those jazz those like clubs in like the 40s and stuff. I like stuff like that. Favorite Dick Grayson moment. Favorite Dick Grayson moment. Just seeing him grow up. That's the best part. That's my moment. Seeing him take over as becoming Nightwing for the first time. What Nutty Professor movie is the kind of most fascinating? Your wording sometimes is really weird. Which Nutty Professor are we talking about? Are we talking about the original with Jerry Lewis? So I've seen those. Or are we talking about Eddie Murphy's one? Be a little more specific. Have you ever read Archie? My mother loved Archie, and I've read Archie. I read the classics, and I read the remake, the reboot that Mark Wade was writing, which was more Archie kind of more modern, but it worked. It's basically what Riverdale is based off of. But yeah, my mother loved Archie, and she loved like Betty and Veronica and all those too. So yeah, I like Archie, classic. Um, Ego Shadow, thoughts thoughts on the SWAT Cats reboot. Happy. I did a video. I posted a video. My thoughts on it. Go check it out. It's up. Um, get that video up. You'll hear my thoughts on it. I'm ready. I find it weird that they're trying to target it to 5-year-olds and 11-year-olds. That show was for everybody. It's a good show. What Marvel villain would be a good villain for Wonder Woman? There's a couple. Yeah, there's a couple. Morgan Le Fay, Doctor Doom, Loki. Yeah, maybe a couple. There's a bunch. How would a live action Street Sharks with prop designs instead of CGI be? I don't think so. A Street Sharks movie would definitely, if they did it, that would definitely have to be CGI. That I cannot. I don't think practical effects could work on that. That would look really weird. That would need special effects. Did you watch Patton ever? We talking about the movie of General Patton? Yeah, I've seen that. If that's what you're talking about. What is your idea? What are your ideas of what's alpha, beta, omega, delta, gamma are? Well, those are different levels. Not just in the military, but that's the different levels in a wolf pack. Like you got your alphas and you got your betas that are under the alpha and your omegas. Your omega is a loner. Like that omega is a loner, and there's your gammas and your deltas are kind of like in between there. But your omega is like a loner. He's alone. Like yeah, because I love wolves, so I learned about that, like how the pecking order of the pack really works. Is Tom Spider-Man ready for? Is I know, I guess. The band, the Archies, who sing "Sugar Sugar," are based on Archie characters. Oh, that's cool. The zodiac sign. What zodiac sign do you find the most revealing and fitting? I don't really buy into all the zodiac stuff. I'm an Aries, and I look at what they are, and yeah, there's some things about Aries that are true, like very warm-hearted, loyal and all that stuff. Yeah, it's true, but I don't really read into the horror and the horoscopes and all that stuff. Look to the stars. I'm not into that. How many moments in Terminator 2 made you go, whoa, cool? Oh, there's a bunch. There was a bunch. There was a bunch. I think the one that blew my mind the most is when he starts cutting his flesh off and shows him his exoskeleton. That shit looked so real. I was like, whoa. That was just beautiful effects. I was like, whoa. Whoa, another whoa was just seeing him just kneecap all them cops, like just like pop, pop, pop. You get a bullet in your leg, you get another bullet in your leg, you get another bullet. It was crazy. I was like, whoa. And just probably the introduction of just seeing how fast T1000 was. I was like, whoa, okay. Like when John was on his dirt bike, I'm like, this dude's actually keeping up with it on John on a dirt bike. Like, what the fuck? Like, how is he so fast? That was crazy. Uh, what would you ever heavily invest in certain hobbies like yoga, tai chi? Do tai chi, uh, and I've done yoga or the YMCA and aerobics. I've done them all. So yeah, done them all. I meditate all the time, so meditation is good for me. What hotels in Vegas seem the most coolest? I don't really look at hotels like that, so it's just, you know, that's because that's true. Like even when I travel, like you know, like I'm traveling to MegaCon again this year, and I'm looking at the hotels around, and I'm just like, do I really want to spend 800 a day, even though I do all my booking through like Priceline and stuff like that. But I'm like, do I really want to spend 800 or $1,000 for just to stay in the Hilton? I'm like, no, I don't look at stuff like that. I'm just like, as long as as a bed, I can lay my head down. I'm fine. I don't look at stuff like that. I don't look at hotels like that. You know, everybody's got their own experience with hotels. You know, you see these, they do the reviews like, oh, it was disgusting, blah, 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 blah. The whole last, when I went to MegaCon 3 years ago, I stayed in a hotel that was not too far from the Orange County Center. Me and Blue Goblin, I'm not Blue, me and Mr. Multiverse. I was just, it wasn't fancy. It was just something that I needed to lay my head down. The problem was, I will say this, um, I'm glad the I put the lock over the door, because there was one time I will never forget it. Not I never told Ty this, but there was one time we were asleep, and I know for a fact that front door opened up, and I don't know who it was, but they had a key or a key. Well, we didn't really have keys, but we had like card keys, and that thing opened up, and when they realized that the lock was on, shut the door, and I was wide awake when that door, and I stayed up for a good couple of minutes just to make sure that person didn't come back, because it made me wonder, like, you know what, yo, were they trying to get in there and try to rob or something? Because nah, that's why I don't play with that stuff. And I did read that hotel that I was in that time, it closed down, or it's under renovation or whatever. But yeah, there are times I will listen to reviews, but then there are times I don't, you know. But yeah, I don't look into hotels like that. Vegas is its own animal. I I don't. But I'll never forget that night. It was going into the third night of the convention, and we finished day two, and we was wrapping up, and we all go to sleep. And I remember, because two beds, and I was in the bed to the far left, and Multi was in the bed to the far right, and I put the lock of the door would latch over, clink. And I remember that door, and I remember it was like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and I heard that door open, like clink and clink, like, and I looked right up. I was like, and I'm just watching this, and I'm like, whoever's coming in here, trying to, I'm like, it's not gonna happen. I was like, and I remember that door opened, stayed open for a while, and It tried to move again, like try to jar it off, and the door just closed. And I'm like, yeah. I was like, fuck that. And didn't say a word. Nobody said a word. Like, it didn't say like housekeeping or something like that. And but it's 4 o'clock in the morning. What's housekeeping coming through now? Nope. There's a lot of snow outside my house right now. Oh, okay. What was the best Donkey Kong game? Um, uh, Country. I would go Country. Bullseye. Nightwing. Who would win? Do you see Bullseye catching Nightwing sticks? Yup. And throwing them Ufer sticks right back at him with pinpoint accuracy. I can name one food chain that Hungry Jacks. Hungry. Oh, there's a Hungry. I know we got Hungry Jacks. Like pancake mix and things like that. I didn't know that was a chain. Wow, that's cool. What major character fits your personality most? Uh, I'm a mixture between Morpheus and Neo. I'm kind of him. What Super Mario Brother game was the most gifted to you? Super Mario Bros. 3 and 2 to agree. And you guys know me what I say. What were any of the Zelda games worthwhile? Yo, Matthew, you gonna come at me with that question? Are you crazy? Are you smoking? Really? You gonna come at me and ask me for any Legend of Zelda game worthwhile? Are you smoking? Are you high? Mm-mm. Mm-mm. All of them. All of them. That's the true mascot and hero of Nintendo. Fuck Mario, man. Black Jester. Favorite Wolverine costume. Favorite Wolverine costume. Um, believe it or not, I actually love the tan look the most. Actually, it suits him than the yellow, black, and blue. I also love the X Force, the black and the silver, the red eyes. I actually like that look. That was nice. So yeah. Um, which Star Fox was the greatest to play? Problem with Star Fox, he don't have a lot of games, so and I haven't played all of them. So Blueberry, yo, didn't you? Didn't know you were on here. Cool. How's it going? I'm good. How are you? You see the Jackass Forever yet? I did. I didn't, but I want to see it soon. No, I haven't. I haven't seen it, but now after hearing certain things about Johnny Knoxville after filming that, I think he needs to stop. And it happened because of the stunt he did in that movie. It was that bull scene where he got hit by the bull. He cracked his head or something, and doctors told him he cannot take any more headshots or he can die. And I'm like, that's where you need to stop. Stop. And the funniest thing is he was in the Royal Rumble not too long ago, taking headshots and everything, getting kicked in the face. And I'm like, this dude just got kicked in the face. The headshot. Stop. How are the Metroid Prime games? Those are good. I'm a big Metroid fan. I love Samus. Blues, rap, jazz. I like it. Yeah, I love jazz. R&B. Ninja Gaiden and Ninja Blade. Any of them pique your interest? I had both of them. I have both of them. Ninja Gaiden is my favorite. Ryu Hayabusa, man, dude. Don't say you. The best thing to do, Matthew, about asking about gaming is, have you ever just asked, have I ever? Do you have them? Do you have it? Because most likely I'm gonna tell you I have it in my collection or I've played it. Ninja Gaiden, I have pretty much played almost every Ninja Gaiden game. So yeah. Nice. I used to recall. Okay. They just announced a Scream 6 is coming out in the future. I still need to see Scream out. It'll be a while, but yeah, we just talked about that. Somebody beat you to that question, Blueberry. We talked about that. Which Assassin's Creed game is the greatest, and what feels the most revealing in storytelling? The greatest. Well, everybody's gonna say any of them with Ezio because he had the longest, he got the most story out of it, and that's unfair. You know, I like Ezio's story, but it was like, why does he get all the? To me, to me, to me, to me, AC3 is my favorite. I love Connor. You know, to have a Native American assassin beat the shit out of the redcoats and stuff like that. I love that. Like, go back and just watch the way he Connor navigates and interacts with all these famous individuals of the Civil War, like General George Washington and General Putnam. This is the guy who basically said the famous line, don't shoot until you see the white in their eyes. That's where that line comes from. You know, seeing how he looks at, slavery and things like that. That was, I love that line. I love the whole concept of Connor, what he's saying. Like, still that line. I don't care that opening trailer of him watching the redcoats and the rebels and them talking about the freemen, freemen, and they're like, him. Go back and watch that trailer. Just see, it looks like it's the eagle talking, but he's just like, I watched them fight and die in the name of liberty. And I love that line. They speak of liberty and justice, but for who? Who is it really for? Is it for the indigenous people who've been in this land, or is it for them? In my eyes, I want to eliminate every outsider in this land. But then I realized I am the outsider. I'm like, that's just beautiful writing. It's beautiful. He was a Mohawk tribe, which was the tribe that occupied New York, especially further up New York. Like, it's good stuff. Mohawk people. And they're speaking of the native tongue. It's beautiful stuff. Just loving that. Should God of War continue to make more chapters? It keeps selling the way it is, yeah. I mean, the only thing I don't want is just Kratos going to every pantheon and just killing them. Like, I don't want that. You know, uh, the fact that Kratos is a dad, and I was enjoying that. I was like, okay, because after a while, the first couple of games I was getting tired of because a lot of the stuff he brought on himself. I'm like, you brought this on yourself. We're gonna take that down. All right. 24. Got it. Should Prince of Persia unlock or release more kinds of pages? I guess. Um, have you ever gotten into Kingdom Hearts franchise? Yes, I have. Blueberry, did you hear Shane McMahon? Vince McMahon sent him home in the madhouse out these days. Yeah, he got quietly released. And from what I heard, it was really serious, like to the point where like he was being very disrespectful to producers and stuff like that. Um, Games I look forward to streaming this year. Okay. What are your outlook on bobcats, lynx, cougars, and cheetahs? I love big cats. So yeah, they're all cool to me. I meditate sometimes too. No, I do it every time. I don't sometimes I do it. What are your thoughts on ASMR? What's that? Please don't abbreviate. Give me the whole thing. I'm not sure what that is. Wolves, foxes. What's the coolest? Wolves, man. Wolves. Do hyenas creep you out? No, they don't creep me out. I respect them, but they don't creep me out. Left talking about hotels. I was just watching Plane Train to Automobiles. Oh my God, that's my favorite. It's one of my favorite movies. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Oh my God, that's one of my favorite movies. One of my favorite John Candy movies. I love that movie. I don't want that to be remade, and I keep hearing they want to remake it. And from what I heard with Kevin Hart and Will Smith, and I'm like, don't do that. There's no reason to remake that. Don't do that. Find something else for them to do. I know they want to work together in a movie, but find something else. Do weasels and badgers draw you in? I've held badgers. I've held the badger. I've held the badger in my hand. I went to a zoo and a badger and held me, and I held it. I'm looking at it. I'm like, hey, dude, heavy. Thing is heavier than I thought it was, but I was like, is it safe? Because I know they kind of get aggressive, you know. But no, it was cool. Held the weasel, I've held the weasel. I've held both of them. How do you like your pancakes? Plain chocolate, uh, uh, chocolate chip blueberry. I love blueberry pancakes. I love cinnamon pancakes. Like when I make the batter, I'm mixing cinnamon, so I love that. I love pancakes with fruit on it, so bananas and things like that. I pop it on there. I've even had um, pineapple on it as well. Um, but and then that's why I go to IHOP a lot too, because the creations that they do there. Anyone who talks of John Kenny has my full undivided attention. Yeah, I love John Kenny. He was great. It's just sad. It's sad. It is sad that he died, and yeah, it was complication of his weight. You can't deny John Kenny was a big boy. He was a big boy. He was a big boy, and but he and you can see even his children, especially his son, look just like his dad. It's amazing. Um, Crabs, lobsters, shrimp, mussel, clams, or and oysters. Which one tastes the finest? I don't know. I don't know about that. Like I thought you're gonna say who tastes the best. It depends because you can have the biggest lobster or crab you want, but if it ain't got that right seasoning, it ain't gonna taste that good. That's why they throw that Old Bay on there, baby. What was the first video game you ever played? Super Mario Brothers. First video game I ever played. Hang on, by Sega. My first system, my first gaming console was the Sega Master System. It wasn't the Nintendo. It was the Sega Master System. I got the Nintendo later on, and the Sega Master System was Sega's first console in the States, I believe, and it had a built-in game already in it, so you could flick that console on, and you could play Hang On, which was a motocross game. It was really fun. Yeah, and I love playing that game. For all those who want to know what the Master System looked like, just look it up. You can see it. But if you ever watched regular show, that's basically what Rigby and them had in there. That was the Master System. Uh, so yeah. So like I said, I date myself. My answers date me a lot. Strangest, scariest thing that happened at work. Strangest thing, scariest thing that ever happened at work. Strangest thing. I wouldn't call it strange, but um, I I injured myself at work one time. I was chasing somebody who was trying to steal, and and kind of injured my hand like twice. First time it was like a pole, like the rods of like people they put like clothing rods, and I was chasing this guy, and I was trying to cut him off, and I leaped over to shoot, and I knew I had the jump. I made it, but I didn't see the extra. Like there was another rod, a hidden rod from one port, and it was actually bent and kind of sharp, and it slit my hand like badly. Like this whole part of my hand was like the skin was literally hanging off. That's how bad it was. The next time it happened, I was uh, again uh, somebody was trying to steal, and he was trying to steal very expensive uh, Louis Vuitton bags, and I caught him, and we had a tug of war over it because he had ripped it off the wall. He had ripped it off the wall, and uh, the security wiring was still on it, and so I stepped on that wire, and I just held it, and it was, and then I wrapped it, and I held it with my hand, and and I'm just like, yeah, you either you're gonna let go or something else, or the wire's not gonna give because I'm not letting go, and it didn't give, it did pop, the wire popped, and he got away with one bag. But I went outside and picked up the other bag and I gave it back to the people. I was like, here you go. And they were just like, Chris, you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. And he's like, you didn't have to do that. And honestly, I didn't, because, it was like, those bags are like insured and everything like that. They keep, and, but it was just like my second day on the job. And I was like, nah, that's not going to happen on my watch. And after a while, after the adrenaline started wearing off, uh, my hand just started hurting. I'm like, what the fuck? So I went in the back to see and I looked down at my hand, and I'm like, it was almost like my hand was branded with that wiring. And I still got the scar on my hand. You can't really see it too well, but you could like see that scar right here. Like you kind of could see it. Goes from there, from my hand right here. It went all the way around my hand. And it was the same hand that I hurt before, my left hand. And that wiring, it was so bad. Like, but the adrenaline kicked in, and I did not know. And then all of a sudden, yeah. So yeah, that was not a fear of strangest day. I think the strangest that was like not weird, but the strangest thing that ever happened at work was, um, I don't know if I should tell this story, but dude comes into the store where I was stationed at, and he kept asking about where's Willow? I'm like, who's Willow? Like, it's just weird. He just kept going around asking people, and I started with, is he a little slow? Is he with somebody? This grown man, and I'm just like, does he have some kind of mental retardation or something like that? And he's just going around, and he walks out of the store, and he's just like, Willow, like, Willow, and he just going up and down. It was weird. Like, the thing about it was he kept like twitching his eye, like his eye just kept twitching. I'm like, yeah, that's creeping me out a little bit. Like, I'm not really keen on when eyes start like twitching a lot and going all willy nilly. I'm like, so you on something? What are you on? Like, those are the ones that will scare me. Like, would you ever eat any bugs? Like, um, ladybugs. I like ladybugs. Roly polies. I remember roly poly. I've eaten. I've actually eaten grasshopper once. I've eaten grasshopper, but I wouldn't do it again. I can remember the first Nintendo game, Super Mario. Have you ever played Commander Keen, Chris? No, I don't think so. What Metal Gear game was the tightest? That's tough because I played them all. I think that when they did Metal Gear Solid for the PS1, that was, and it just went from there. Star Trek Wrath of Khan or Star Trek First Contact? Uh, um, that's tough. I actually like First Contact a lot more. I mean, I like Wrath of Khan, but it's definitely First Contact, actually. Hey, buddy, what's good, Rex? Should Ghostface always carry a gun with him or her, or when them, just in case? I guess. Hippos, rhinos. What do you think about the be stories being true about the empires of Mali? Of course I do. They don't want to tell those stories. That's the problem. The problem with Hollywood is they always want to do slavery movies, but they don't ever want to tell the stories in the kingdoms about the kings and queens of Africa. That is why it's up to storytellers like who, and directors and producers like who look like me to do that. Like, there's a movie coming out called The Woman's King, starring Viola Davis. This was the movie that she got in this super duper shape for. You go look it up. She looks badass. She looks fierce. And it's about a tribe of women protectors. It's cool. It's like a truth. It's real cool. Birds of prey. What bird of prey would you rather be? Eagle, hawk? Eagle. Who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl? Um I don't know. I mean, my team got eliminated, but even though my team got eliminated, I still watched the Super Bowl winner, and I won't be surprised if the Bengals, who's in it? Yeah, the Bengals, right? Cincinnati, yeah, they're in there. Is it? Or yes, they win or Cleveland. Do you prefer unarmed combat or bladed? Um, I say unarmed because that's where you truly get to see your skills. Like, if you're really that good. Which birds do you find more mysterious, crows or ravens? The thing about it, they're kind of the same bird. There's nothing really different about them. I think the ravens, it's just another name for them. I think. Auto centered response. There are videos where on I'll send you them. Yeah, you got to send me that stuff out. Did you like Ralphie May? Ralphie May. What's that? Which kid shows in the 90s and 2000s did you find too frightening for kids to take a look at? I don't. I watched them all, so none. From my perspective, none. If I could watch them, anybody watch. Have you ever seen Injustice? The Injustice 2021 movie? Yeah, I've seen that garbage. Yeah, I've seen that garbage. It was garbage. That was disgusting. That movie was disgusting. It lacked anything that the comic did. Lacked so much. Disgusting. That movie, Injustice should have just stayed a comic series and a game. They should have never even tried to adapt it. The that just made you even hate Superman even more. That was disgusting. That was disgusting. Are you excited for X Men 1997? Yes, I am. Um, Peter Parker with the Green Goblin serum would what would that be like? He wouldn't even dare put that in him. Um, gave yourself a good hand patting there. Can't damn, but yeah, sounds like drugs. Honestly, yeah, it's drugs. I don't. That guy was creepy though. And you know what else is creepy? What I don't like when people don't respect your personal space boundary. Like if you're getting in my face, if you're coming at me in my face, I get into like this real defense mode. Like you're trying to harm me, so I will defend myself. Like I don't like once you get too close to me, and I'm a little concerned. I'm like, okay, break out the martial arts because you about to may have to start to, you know, get in the position, fighting position, boom. Like, yeah, don't nobody gets too close to me unless I trust them. I don't trust you. Like you're not getting in hands reach of me. You yeah, almost like 6 feet. Stay the fuck away from me. And him and I'm not I don't you know what else creeps me out? People who are hunched over and they walk like that. And when your eye is doing this and and you're going, Willow, where's Willow? Stay the fuck away from me. You're on something. Get away from me. I know that may make y'all laugh, but it was creepy. Um, should they make a Home Alone TV series? No, no. Don't make any more Home Alones. That's the problem. None of them have ever been good. Once Culkin left, they all sucked. He just got too big. What's the dumbest thing you ever heard a person say online in a game? I had one person say that they should they thought a brick on a string would be funny. Um, I've heard some dumb stuff, and some of them come from family members, so I'm not gonna repeat it. Like my cousin said something just really stupid, but I can't. For his sake, I won't. That, but no, never in a game, never. Bengals and Rams. Yeah, I'm like Rams. Uh, Ralphie May was a comedian. I don't. I don't think I've heard any of his work. So, yo, Chris, Maryland Wolves was good. My question is, will why kill off Flash and why did they cut so much? Because they're trying to condense a big story into an hour plus long movie. It don't work. Oh, but you want it, but you will you'll do a part two to Long Halloween and all that stuff. You see what I say all the time? DC is so far up the bats dick. It's crazy. Have you seen the latest Dynamite? Yes, I did. I watched it yesterday. Are you excited to see Robert Patterson Batman movie coming out soon. I'm gonna check it out. Wouldn't say I'm excited, but I'm gonna check it out. I still think the Riddler looks like a Slipknot member. Looks like he belongs with Slipknot, and probably the one that amazes me the most is Colin Farrell as the Penguin. That transformation is crazy. I'm like, that's Colin Farrell. What? You know, this is probably going to be the most angriest Batman, because he just is built on rage. You could every punch he throws, it's just pain, just rage. Should Batman's gloves, spikes, or gauntlets be lethal or fatal? That's up to Batman. Did you see Shaman Man got fired? Yeah, I talked about that. Blueberry. Basic boundaries, honestly, 6 years for me yet. Like if I don't know you like that, or if I do like, yo, bring it in, dude. Yeah, I'm embracing you. I'm telling you, okay, it's cool. But if you come in and I don't, and I'm looking at you like, yo, I you right there is fine. Like I have personal space, and I take, I do take that as somewhat aggressive. I'm kind of built differently. Like I'm like, yeah, chill with that. Like sometimes that's the problem when you. That's also like the cons of being raised by two parents who were in the military. Like they teach you things, and you're like, okay. They've always taught me to read somebody through their eyes. Their eyes will tell. That's why, and I do that a lot. Like I read people right through their eyes. Like I look them right in the eye. I'm like, yeah, I could. Yeah, you up to something? Don't you know? I could tell. Did you ever watch the 1940s Match Fletcher? Oh yeah, love those. I love those cartoons. The Match Fletcher Supermans were great. Those are classic Superman where he didn't really fly; he leaped. He was from like that's how he was in the comics back in the day. And I love those cartoons. Those are fun. Uh, you know, those were fun. Match Fletcher stuff was fun. I still want to get that on Blu-ray. They have like a Blu-ray collection of all of them. Those are fun. Those are fun. Um, what are the most beautiful landscapes you've seen? Um, there's up in well, one of the beautiful landscapes is for me always the Hudson River. When you go further up northern New York, Hudson River it's a beautiful river. Like yeah, it's this and that, but it's simple. But the simplicity of it is everything. I did a video, guys. I take pictures of it all the time when I'm around it, and I just like it's just I love just watching the sun set over it. There's been a couple of Lake George up in the Adirondack Mountain area up here in New York. Beautiful. I'd love to visit the Grand Canyon. I never visited Grand Canyon. Um, I'd love to go to Yellowstone to see like Reliable, Old Faithful, and all those the Great Plains. Um, I would love to go to the Redwood Forest, in California, in Yosemite, things like that. I love to go to the Everglades, you know. But yeah, there's some great landscapes I've seen. What other DC stories should be adapted into an animated film? Uh, I would say Crisis, but I don't. I think they fucked that up too. MJF best heel in the business? Yes or no? Yeah, he's one of them. He stays in that character 24/7. Yeah, he stays in that character 24/7, like legit. Like it ain't just like off camera. Okay, he's different. No, he stays in that character 24/7. He's one of them. Riddler as Slipknot member. Yeah, he does. He looks like from Slipknot. It's not even just fun. This is just the weirdest looking Riddler I've ever seen. It looks like Slipknot. Not even joking with that one. I'm dead serious. He looked. As soon as I saw what he looked like, I'm like, is that a Slipknot member? And I'm a like Slipknot, but I'm like, yo, he looks like Slipknot. So that's Slipknot. Do you enjoy watching paint artists? Like Bob Ross. I would watch him from time to time. Okay, we're gonna double and make some beautiful skies here, and let's make that. I used to watch it sometimes, not all the time. Bullseye, ball and darts. Do you consider them exiting? Exiting what? I want to see MJF feud against Eddie Kingston so bad. Two New Yorkers delivering epic promos against one another. Uh, Eddie feud with Jericho and things like that. Uh, MJF, as much as I've always said, I'm a little biased with New Yorkers, like because I'm a New Yorker. So, I always want to see a New Yorker succeed. But for me, MJF represents the New Yorkers I don't like. You know, as a New Yorker, we look at Long Island kind of differently. And trust me, I go out to Long Island a lot, especially because that's where my mother's buried, out there in the military grave site is out there. And when I go out there, Long Island's like a different animal. It's like no way we still in New York. Like it just feels so differently. People look at you kind of weird, and I'm just like, yeah, what? Like you never seen Black Kid before? What's wrong with you? Like it's just weird sometimes, and he represents that. He represents the upper class that I hate. Those that look down upon you because they are better. They think they're better than you because they got money and everything. I hate that stuff. I hate that. I don't like people who look down upon people. Like think they're better because they got this, because their social class is better in their eye. Fuck that. You know, like if I punch you in your mouth, you ain't gonna be no different than anybody else I punch in the mouth. You know, that's how I look at it. You feel me? MJF CM Punk match was good. Brian Kenner, do you think he will be back in AEW or somewhere? I doubt it. Hearing that stuff, I'm like, Brian Kendrick, he's been like that before. Like, he's crazy with these conspiracy shit. And I'm just like, you know, but I think he crossed the line. With the Sandy Hook shit, I'm like, no, motherfucker, ain't nothing, no conspiracy about that. 20 people died because some fucker with a gun went over there and shot up and killed. Nah, get out of here with that. That's no, that ain't cool. Don't do that. You know, yeah, there's been many conspiracy about certain things, like rumors about John F. Kennedy's assassination and stuff like that. Yeah, Martin Luther King's assassination. Was it really Lee Harvey Oswald? Like, was it this? Was it all? No, God. There's proof with Sandy Hook. That's like somebody coming out and saying, well, Columbine never happened. I will smack you in the face right now for saying some shit like that. Get out of here. Like, get out of here. Or, oh no, Timothy McVeigh was not responsible for the Oklahoma City bombing. I will smack you in the face and then I will spit in your face for that shit. Like stuff like that. Don't do that. Kendrick, sometimes he out there, and sometimes I think it's the drugs. He on them drugs, man. He fucked them drugs, fucked his ass up. And you can wonder why Paul London don't speak to him too much anymore. He crazy. Like that shit, that ain't cool. DC just doesn't know what's meant to be a two-parter and what should they do, Joe. That problem with DC, as much as it is like, yeah, like Warner Brothers, they're still under Warner Brothers. No matter what, still Warner Brothers owns them. And if Warner Brothers wants to do something more for the sake of the studio over the being honoring the source material, you bet your ass it's gonna be that way. He ain't coming back. They ain't gonna let him be back. Any more Image Comics characters have their own shows? None yet. Uh, but I would love to see a couple more, like the Haunt, Astonishing Wolfman, Savage Dragon, things like that. A perfect example of it would be what the legendary painter Bob Ross. He was always super relaxed. Yeah, but there's a documentary on Bob Ross. He didn't like his hairstyle. You know, he always had the afro. He didn't like that. Things like that. We are still waiting for Johnny Gargano to debut. Um, I don't think he's gonna do anything. He's gonna be a dad, and good for him. You know, good for him. The problem is I don't want everybody who got released from WWE going to AEW. It's not gonna work. Yeah, that company's already stacked as it is. They keep stacking people, and you're not gonna be able. That's one thing AEW right now is having a problem with finding TV time for all these people. You got Jay Lethal. What the fuck are y'all not doing something with Jay Lethal? You're doing something with him now. Y'all still the women's division still centers around one person, Britt Baker. That's it. She gets everything is still circled, and that's the problem. To me, even in the TBS title, I feel the wrong woman won. I know they wanted to build Jade Cargill up like that, but she's still learning. She is not that good, and she is still learning. And you put the belt on her. Y'all should have put that belt on Ruby, somebody who's got experience and could put on good matches. He could show up in the future. I don't know. Ryan, they're still going to keep an open mind. That's what Tony Khan said. But yeah, should Dark Horse Comics make a return or a rerun? What do you mean? Dark Horse Comics make a return? Dark Horse Comics is still running. They've been around for 25 years. Going to going to the Hudson River was awesome. It's just so pretty. Yeah, I'm a New Yorker. I live not that far from the Hudson River. I can walk to the Hudson River right now if I wanted to. Like right in Yonkers. Yonkers is right next to me. I live in Mount Vernon. Yonkers is YO right there. And I can see the Hudson River right from there. Boom. Like, for example, I took pictures of the Hudson River not too long ago. Last week, actually. And you can kind of see it from here. Was the Hudson River what it looked like? That's what it looked like, frozen. It was all frozen. But yeah, it was pretty good. It's the Hudson River just frozen, and it still was pretty. I caught it at sunset. It was nice, very nice. Let's keep going. All right, moving on. Is IDW making new material? Yes. Who is the best vigilante there is? That's a tough one. That's anybody's opinion. Greatest place on earth would have to be where Jesus Christ was born. I would love to baptize in the Jordan River. Okay. If they made a Crisis movie, they would probably die from how bad it would be. Well, that last Justice League stuff where basically they try to do Endgame, I was like, did they really needed to do that? I was just like, yeah. Who is more evil, Joker or Green Goblin? Green Goblin. Oh, do you know Bob Ross? That's cool. Yeah, I know Bob Ross. Yeah. Well, not personally, but yeah. Who's the most evil female villain in either Marvel or DC? Um, Marvel. Marvel wise, I'm gonna go. I don't know. I would say Emma Frost because I fucking hate Emma Frost. DC wise, I could throw Cersei's up there. I definitely throw Cersei's up there. Uh, SAW call is awesome. You should check. I remember that. I remember that stuff. My brother Malcolm loved that stuff. He SAW and all them stuff. And we have MLW and Impact too. Yeah, MLW, Impact. I keep my ears on everything in professional wrestling. I just don't watch just what's airing, but I keep my ear. Besides with uh, Impact, I keep because I do have people there I love, like Jordan Grace. I love Jordan Grace. I love that woman. I think she is just so attractive. I'm like I hate people say, oh, she's butterface and man, fuck you. Like she can bench you. Like I love her. Like she is so good. I follow Jordan all the time. I'm all about uh the undead bride. Yeah, I know she's now pregnant. She's gonna have a baby. Um, rest in peace, Daphne, because that's where Daphne got big, the Scream Queen on Impact. I love Daphne. And also, you want to watch good women's wrestling, go watch Shimmer and Shine and all them. The indie works great. Uh, so yeah, that's pretty much. I'd keep check. Warner really is being really be stripping the source. Yeah, they Warner Brothers sometimes. That's why I can't. I get hyped up for these movies, then I'm just like they're gonna want to tell their own fucking stories. Like instead of staying close to some stuff. Like, am I excited for Captain Marvel, the next Captain Marvel movie from DC? Because I don't call him by that S name. I call him Captain Marvel. That's what he is. I'm really excited for that. But yeah, I don't know how much if I am gonna go see the Aquaman 2 because I might boycott that with the Amber Heard nonsense. Fuck that. That chick need to get fired. Oh, Johnny Depp gets fired, everything else, but she still keeps her role. Fuck that shit. That the sheer amount of just crap, and we know she did it. It's like it's on fucking tape for her, and she still gets to keep. Man, fuck that. Girl. How would Spider-Man fare in the Image universe? Hmm, I think he'd kind of make it. I agree. Jay's still a rookie. She's a rookie. She's got a great look, and that's pretty much she's got the great look. She looks like a star, and that's good. But she's still a rookie that makes rookie mistakes. That match between her and Ruby was terrible. You could see like she still needs practice. She still needs to get her match skills. Is Ruby should have won that. We basically got two heel champions in the women's division. Have you watched Young Justice? I've been watching that series since it was on Cartoon Network, dude. Uh, are you a dude? Are you a girl? See, I don't even know. Let me see. Hold on. Alex Zan Drama. Okay. Uh, I don't want to know. So I want to know: are you a him or a her? Because I didn't see the name. I'm looking at the name and I'm like, okay. Because I'm calling you dude. I'm like, oh wait, I don't want to be disrespectful. Um, but yeah, I've been watching Young Justice since it was first aired on Cartoon Network. Love the show. The only thing I don't like about with the current season right now is this Beast Boy stuff. I'm like, I'm done with that. Like, get him off the team, get him off the show, or get him off the drugs. Like, it's done. I'm done with him. Like, that's getting on my nerve. Are you a fan of the Ben 10? I used to love that. I love Ben 10, the original stuff. And then when they rebooted it, I was no. So all that stuff when before that, yeah, I was fine with. They should have kept going when he became Ben 10,000 and stuff like that. Uh, that's also God, the Haunted Ruin is pretty sight. Yeah, it's pretty sight. It's really not. It goes all the way up to the Catskill Mountains, all the way down to the New York City, and then it enters into the Atlantic and the East River and things like that. It's a nice river. That's the river that Hudson from Gargoyles got his name from, the Hudson River. That's it. But don't jump in there. Yeah, it's kind of polluted. How is Green Goblin more evil than Joker exactly? From everything. Has Joker ever really, truly harmed Batman physically? Nope. Mentally, maybe. Physically, no. Goblin has done too many things to Peter. And I'm glad they kind of erased some of it. But yeah. Do you like countrysides, Chris? Yeah, I mean, I dig countryside. Most of my family's from the country. Most of my family originates from the country, originates from South Carolina, that Pinewood area, all that stuff. I got land. My family owns land down in South Carolina, and they always asking like when I'm gonna come down and build my home down there. Like we own land. Like my family owns land. I'm not a country boy. I'm kind of a mid city boy, things like that. But I love going down to North Carolina because I have family in North Carolina too. But South Carolina. But after after a while, I'm ready to come back home. I when I go down there, and if I'm down there for like 3 weeks or so, yeah, I'm ready to come home. I'm like, yeah, I miss New York and things like that. I also like the National Wrestling Alliance. AEW is great. Watch that on YouTube. That's good stuff. Do you like Pokemon? I don't like Pokemon too much. Um, I don't know. I think Ash is probably one of the most uninspiring characters in anime. This kid don't learn shit. It's like he learns something, then the next season he loses it. He should be at the top of his game, and he don't. He still struggles with people. He should be just running through. Like he sees it and he's like, "Oh, what's that? It looks like a water Pokemon. What do you use against water types?" Like it's he. I hate that he doesn't grow up. I hate that shit. I can't stop. I don't know. I don't. I'm always like I call him. Oh yeah. Okay. Born Christian now. Born again Christian now. I'm trying to get better every single day, and I know there's only one way that God, Jesus Christ. Oh yeah, I can agree with that. Who's your favorite character in Young Justice? Dick Grayson, Robin. There you go. Uh, I'm gender fluid, so you can call me either. Me, not just. But yeah, Beast Boys story needs to go. Oh, okay. So do mine. I was raised in a country boy. Twin show right here. Oh, okay. Uh, yeah. Green Goblin is definitely Spider-Man's arch nemesis. At one point they tried to make him and Doc Ock that, but when overarching of all his Rose Gallery, his amazing Rose Gallery, Green Goblin is the quintessential. That's his arch nemesis. Let's keep going. It's hard to like a show when the main character is unlikable. That is true. That is true. Although I don't very much care for country music, but if it has rock in it, I'll listen to it though. I like a little country. I never hate on a little country, especially from like Carrie Underwood. Like I'll listen to Carrie Underwood. Like she can get me to listen to her, or they kind of consider Shania Twain country, and I like Shania Twain. So um, I like a lot of Willie Nelson. I do like Willie Nelson. Yeah. Yeah. Everybody's talking about being a Christian. Yeah, my family's Christian. So I don't hate on religion. I don't like when um people use a religion to abuse or to use it to justify their own ignorance. For example, for a while it used to be that way with anybody who's homosexual. They'll use religion. Oh, it's not in the Bible. It says this, and I'm like, stuff like that, or use religion. A good example of using religion is the bombings and what happened with right in my hometown in New York City. No, whether I don't care whether you're Christian, Catholic, whatever. People ask me all the time. I had a couple of kids I was mentoring not too long ago that asked me about that stuff. Like, why did they do that? And I told them, I was like, simple. They they cherry picked words and phrases out of a holy book, the Quran, to justify of doing that stuff. And that's the whole concept, the indoctrination of terrorism, indoctrinating to make people feel wanted. They take those people who may have been tropped on, spewed up by society, to give them like a cause. They don't. They cherry picked words and phrases from the Quran, a holy book, to make them to justify what they were doing was in the name of God. No, it wasn't. All it was is terrorism. Don't get it twisted. I like Johnny Cash too. Uh, Once again, I'm open to all religions. I try to look at all religions from Catholicism, Taoism, all that stuff. I've even spent time speaking to atheism, like atheists who don't believe in it. Like there's a couple of people who don't I've talked to all the time that work near me, and I hear from their perspective of why. I've even studied Buddhism for a while. Yeah. Yeah, I also feel like people tend to cherry pick the Bible. Yeah, they do. It's just serious. Can you rank the Robins? Can I rank the Robins? Yes, of course I can. My favorite Robin of all is Tim Drake. So Tim Drake comes first. Then next would be Dick Grayson. Then we're going. I'm just going to stay main. I don't count Kelly as a main Robin. So don't ask me. Stephanie Brown will be next, even though her time was short. Jason Todd, and last but not least, Damian Wayne. I fucking hate Damian Wayne. I hate that little shit. I hate that big-headed little shit. He's a little shit. And when I started to like him at one point, they brought him back to that little ignorant shit. I don't like Damian Wayne. I never will, and I don't. Tim Drake is my favorite Robin of all. He is probably the most intelligent of the Robins. The one yes, Dick Grayson may be the first, but Tim Drake made being Robin cool. He made that more than just you're the sidekick of Batman. No, he made that. Who was the first to have their own ongoing series as Robin? Tim Drake. Nobody else. That wasn't before anybody else. It was Tim. Tim made Robin cool. He made that character feel important. He made that character feel like he can stand on his own 2 feet as Robin and still get the respect he deserves. Tim Drake did that. Not Stephanie Brown, not damn sure not Jason Todd, and damn sure not that little shit Damian. All right, because I gotta go school night. Have a good night. Speaking of unlikely shows, it was hard for me to like Daria. That show and the characters pissed me off. Should never have been made, in my opinion. Probably because I'm a Beavis and Butthead OG. Yeah, I mean Daria was on Beavis and Butthead. It's a Beavis and Butthead spinoff. Um, I didn't watch Daria like that. I remember a few episodes, but she was just there to me. Diarrhea. Can you rank the Batgirls? Yes, I can. Barbara. Well, let me rephrase that. People always think it's Barbara first. Actually, wrong. Betty Kane was the first Batgirl. This is before the crisis. Pre-crisis. There was Betty Kane. She was the first Batgirl. But still, it's going to be Barbara, Cassandra, Stephanie, Betty Kane, even Misfit I'll throw in there too. She would be last. She was like the only Batgirl with powers. And yeah, they did a future story where Tamara Fox was Batgirl too. So yeah, there you go. Favorite villain in Young Justice? Vandal Savage. Damien needs to be put in timeout. I can't stand that little shit. Which Omen movie really did it for you? I don't watch those movies too much. I don't like those movies. What was the most horrifying scene in The Exorcist? Or the barfing scene? Oh, ugh. Diarrhea, diarrhea. Yeah, that's it. That is it. All right, let's see. So, all right. All right, last 2 questions, and I'm gonna head out, guys. So, last 2 questions come from Warhawk. You like the Rambo movies? Absolutely, I do. I like the Rambo movies. And the last question is from Black Jester. Do you like sushi? Yeah, I do. I like sushi. I do eat sushi. Um, and sushi rolls and all those stuff like shrimp tempura rolls. I love. Uh, uh, my favorite roll, sushi roll, is a Godzilla roll. That's got everything in it. It's good. That's good. That's really good. Uh, so yeah, I do eat sushi. So we end it on a question about food. I love food questions. Anyway, guys, hope you guys enjoyed the video, this Q&A. I will be back again for the second. Don't forget, guys, to like and subscribe and stay tuned because I got stuff coming soon. They got the merch in the section down below, and the Patreon is there if you would like. Nobody's forcing you. But I did fixed up a new, just you come up with 50 questions and I will answer them for you. Other than that, guys, you guys take care and I will see you guys next time. I am now getting hungry again and I think I want some more tea. So with that being said, peace, one love, stay tuned, keep it real, guys. See you guys next time. Deuces.